Okay, so I think we're recording. So hello, everyone. You guys participated in a midterm assessment before spring break, and it seems like a distant memory, but we wanted to reply to some of your major comments to show you that we received them, we heard you, and we'll discuss opportunities where we feel we can make changes. Sometimes we're just going to say, we heard you, and we can't make a change there. And then other times we'll say, thank you for the feedback. So go ahead, Professor Wadi. Let's get us started.
All right, I'll just start by saying thank you to all of you for participating in the map, and welcome to the new version of our class. Here we are. And overall, I think we're pleased to hear that the class seems to be working for most of you. And as with anything, especially new things such as we're doing here, there's some kinks to be worked out, and we're going to keep doing our best. There was a sentiment that there should be more reminders of readings and due dates.
Yeah, and we feel that we presented it all in the syllabus in a really organized fashion. And once we present that to you, we believe that the next part is in your hands to keep that as a reference document and refer to that throughout the semester.
This is a pretty typical one. More stuff on Moodle. Who wouldn't like more stuff on Moodle, right?
Yeah, I get this comment a lot. So we hear you. We try to post the slide lectures and the material that we feel is fit for distribution. A lot of, this is kind of behind the scenes, but a lot of the notes we prepare for class, we don't really feel are fit for distribution. They're just not of that quality yet. And so we provide what we feel is good to give you, and we keep what we feel is not ready for that yet. Also, there's a lot of general anxiety about the content of the history lectures, but we don't assess that directly. And so you should not have anxiety. Instead, you should just have a feeling of curiosity and a desire to learn more about your profession.
All right. Number three.
So there seems to be a general dissatisfaction with reading quizzes, and also a desire to convert the reading quizzes to some kind of homework based on the readings instead.
I think we get it. We do need to make sure that you do the readings. This is what we've come up with. Given the substantial change in how class is going to run, we don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the semester, but we'll think of alternatives. We may try to implement them, we may not. But mostly we'd like to remind you that this is a low stakes assessment, that we aren't looking to penalize people. We're just looking to make sure that you've done the
reading. The next point made was that for the design assignments, you guys wanted the grade rubric and the statement of deliverables to be given in advance.
Fair point. And we're new at teaching design studios and grading these kinds of assignments. We have the light frame design now, right? But for the cable and tall buildings design, we'll do our best to provide some guidance on how we'll be assessing the work in advance. So fair point.
Go ahead.
The readings are not valuable and the history lectures are difficult to follow, et cetera, et cetera.
Shed a tear. So yes, in a perfect world, we'd be better to, we would be able to better integrate the readings into the class, maybe through an in-class discussion, or just bringing up the themes discussed even more. We sort of thought about interspersing history with analysis, but since this is the first time teaching this class, we sort of wanted to do things as by the book, in the absence of a book, as possible. I would say in our sort of professional and personal opinions, both Professor Wadi and myself find the history content delivered by the readings to be extremely enriching and valuable beyond just the context of a course and learning facts. And we sort of provide in this document here some personal examples. Professor Wadi has found it's valuable in making connections and forming networks with people where it's a common basis of knowledge and appreciation as he navigates the professional world. For myself, I would say that it has enhanced my my love of the profession. And I have this example of the George Washington Bridge, which we talked about in class. But for me, knowing the historical context of that bridge makes me appreciate what Amman was able to do even more. You know, it's not just something that's impressive by 2020 standards. It's something that was the equivalent of going to the moon back when it was built. And the word I use kind of blows your mind when you add that historical appreciation. And I compare knowing the history of our profession to adding spices to food. It gives the spice literally to our field.
Great. Things feel rushed, especially the design studios.
Yeah, this is true. Feels rushed to us also. We will make an effort to dial back the pace, especially for the coming design exercises. But we honestly don't know what those are going to look like yet, given that we're still figuring out the online format. But yes, we hear you, hoping something we can resolve when we teach.
All right, over to you.
All right, so a positive piece of feedback. The syllabus is clear and the course is well organized and the material is well explained.
That is good to hear. Putting a syllabus together actually takes a shockingly large amount of work. So I'm glad you looked at it.
Number 8, no tests lowers the pressure of the class.
Just as we intended. Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
you've appreciated the feedback and particularly the responses to journals and the meetings that we had regarding the arch design assignment.
And again, this was so wonderful to hear from you all. I will say we have greatly enjoyed the journals. Even when you have frustrating things or really positive things or really, mind-opening things to say, we really enjoyed hearing that in your voices. We also felt the arch design discussion was hugely useful and enjoyed talking through that process with you all.
All right.
Yes, everyone loves videos. You have appreciated the ones we've given you.
And who knows, maybe we'll try to come up with some others.
Having 2 professors was helpful.
Good, it's helpful to us too. Although you might be surprised at how difficult it can be, even for 2 people who like each other and basically see the world in the same way, to come to agreement on things sometimes. So you like the journal writing?
Yeah, this was a new thing for the both of us. And as I said earlier, we think it's working really well. The thoughtfulness you put into your entries is noted and appreciated.
You like the group work so far?
Yay.
Yep. All right, back to you.
There's an appreciation for the variety in the modes in which we deliver content. And I believe you were talking about the slides versus Chalkboard versus Design Studio. And generally, Design Studio and analysis lectures were preferred.
Yep, and this is a place where our hands are going to be a little bit tied by our online format for the rest of the semester. So it won't be satisfying, but if we had you here in Amherst, we'd probably try to do better on this in the coming weeks.
So overall, you all believe that the co-teaching of the class is going well, and that with 2 professors, you get more support because of it, and you also get 2 perspectives. More of the gaps get filled in, and you get sort of 2 methods of explanation.
Some of you were surprised that the 2 classes were being brought together.
Yeah, this was a decision we came to kind of late in January for a lot of reasons. When we choose who's going to do a lecture, we choose based on expertise. We even choose based on our travel arrangements. So there were a couple of instances where I had a conference or a meeting, and so Professor Awadi did those days and I did other days. In a perfect world, maybe it would be a fixed or alternating schedule where one of us always does Mondays or always does the analysis. But we're working to provide you with as much in-person or as much content from each of us as possible.
And then this last comment, strangely, I think we decided to end with a somewhat negative comment, but here we are. The perspective material doesn't seem that well integrated into the analysis and design.
Yeah, this is useful and insightful feedback. Definitely something for us to consider as we move forward.
All right, that's it. In closing, just want to again thank you for taking the time to participate in the map. We'll be seeing you soon in this format, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be different, but we'll be doing our best to make it good, and hope that you'll do the same. Dr. Peterman, any closing thoughts?
No, again, just appreciation for your involvement in this process and also for your flexibility and positive attitude moving forward.